Alright guys, this is what it comes down to. This is the last game, the best of 5. WEC qualifier for Korea. World Esports Championship. Bomber to the top right on Catalina. And all the way to the bottom right, it is JaeDong. JaeDong versus Bomber, Terran versus Zerg, the 5th game. The comeback again by the Dong. Using his barcode ID here on the Korean server, and we have the last game. Whoever takes it here, whoever wins this game is going to qualify for the main tournament. It is all or nothing. Go hard or go home. This is the game that really counts. Now it's when they really have to shine. So ladies and gentlemen, get ready for some awesome action, because we will have both of them fighting tooth and nail to win this particular game. And let's see who's going to be the one to really pull that off. Right now, to the bottom right, we have JaeDong, who started in the last game with a pool first even. We are going to see him with a pool first once again. We have all the way to the top right for his opponent. Gas already taken. JaeDong this time lucky with his Overlord Scout. In the last few games he really didn't get a good scout out there. Every single time we saw him, also in the maps against Alicia, he sent the first Overlord to the wrong position on the map, didn't really get a good read on what his opponent was doing, and only the second Overlord was able to get in. But with the second Overlord, he usually had them in a spot where he could just see everything that was heading up his ramp towards the natural, so that he could defend against early game shenanigans and proxies. This game is no difference. Bomber is going to be scouted once again, but he has to deal with that Overlord and the site if he wants to go for any kind of proxy, which is not the case here, of course, which you can also already see by the build. He's starting with the Reaper and the SCV as the scout, trying to get the information there early, and the Overlord is going to find that. He's going to see the Reaper there, he's going to see what's going on, so JaeDong this time has the information that he needs. Down to the bottom of the map, what we're going to see here for the Dong. Currently, no gas taken just yet. We have him with the first Queen, but also a bit too early to tell here. We have the first SCV on the way now, just trying to confirm once again that there is actually the hatch. Is also more about where exactly does my opponent spawn, since this is a 3-player map. You want to know where the spawn position is, so that the Reaper can go in and maybe even snipe a drone. If you can get a drone kill or two, like early on with something like that, it's always absolutely amazing for you. And Bomber is already committing to a second Reaper. Like, he's not only keeping it at 1, he's going straight for 2, and the Queen is out. Thanks to the earlier pool, there was no hatch first, the Queen is already there, and that Reaper is going to be a little bit disappointed. As a Reaper early on in the game, I think you always, I would be really excited if I were the Reaper. I would be like, yeah, okay, I'm going to get that. They always just look so enthusiastically when they walk or when they fly across the map. This one, by the way, just standing on the low ground, so in case that there were a few Zerglings that snuck by, which is the case, he can defend the SCV that builds the command center. But guess what? Gets that thing on the high ground, so that SCV isn't even endangered. The Zealot doing a great job not scouting the 2 Zerglings. Oh, actually, I think he saw them after all. Okay, so the double Reaper moves in and takes them out. But yeah, Zergling's gone, SCV not under pressure. The one thing that JaeDong sees is that there's still nothing over here. So he went in with the Overlord several times, just real quick. We have the command center nearly done now for Bomber. Can then place it down on the low ground. JaeDong, of course, is now heading into the double gas again. And at the same time, it goes for, I guess, 4 to 5. Looks like more like a 4-queen game of him. Gas taken at like 5-minute mark. The double gases. Bomber with the second gas in the meantime. And also the tech straight into Banshee again. Banshee play for Bomber once more. This is also one of those smaller maps where we oftentimes see commitments with roaches. If you are watching Hyun's game, of course, Hyun, one of those players that really loves roaches and roach trailing, you will see that a lot of... Wow! Oh my god, like, he killed 2 harvesters! He's killing a 3rd one! What?! Those 2 Reapers snuck in and killed 3 harvesters, like, you're gonna be kidding me! This late in the game, Reapers are not supposed to do this much damage, and Bomber lost only 1 of the Reapers, got the scouting information off in the main base, and then kills even 3 harvesters. That was great for him. But now, as you can see, the Roach one, I was just talking about this. If you watch Hyun's game, you can see that he, especially on this map, really commits a lot to Roach push. And that's not only true for Hyun, a lot of Zerg players do. Hyun just being the prime example, since he's one of the high-level Zergs that does that like nearly all the time. But JaeDong is going for the Roach one now too, and he go for that push again. We've seen crazy builds like this. I mean, TLO, a player that likes to use Nidus work with that. With Pig, for example, we saw a combination of Nidus networks and also drop for for Overlords to make those that roach aggression really happen. There's some crazy builds for Catalina in particular when you really can go for that. It's absolutely amazing what a few players have tried to come up with to just like surprise opponents on a map like this. Innovation lost to TLO on this map against a Nidus Roach play. So right now Bomber needs to make sure that that's not going to happen to him. Overlords are in position. The +1 attack upgrade has been started. So far JaeDong has been playing very much the same style that he played in the last game. It's one evolution chamber and the Roach one. The +1 attack upgrade is on the way. If he wants to go for similar timing again, he can do that. The first Roach is already out, blocking the spot for the Hellions, but they try to move in, and therefore the Roach is now streaming cross map, and the immediate reaction of Bomber is Marauders. Marauders, Marauders, Marauders. And yeah, that's just like, okay, third base denied for now. It's not gonna last too long. The second drone has already been sent over. But these Roaches, so far, only there for the defense. Here comes the Overseer for the Scout. How is JaeDong gonna play this? How is he going to play that? Third base on the way. 10 more Roaches building. He apparently really wants to go for it and have a quick poke there. Knocking at his opponent's front door, aka the wall here. Could snipe the engineering bay. Would be great for him to deny the upgrades to the Terran player again. We saw already what kind of effect that had in the last game. It was one of the reasons why Bomber decided to go for Merlin, because he was realizing how much he was falling behind. But of course the main question is what's going to be the follow-up. Is it going to be again the Hydralisk play, trying to go into Lingmira Bailing? Are we going to see maybe even a Hydra then? Kind of doubt it. This late in the game we haven't seen it yet, and usually you try to aim that a bit more. Overseer in the main base, there's no Nidus, no nothing. He's playing this pretty straightforward. We have him killing another Hellion here with a few units that he sends over. A massive drone up by JaeDong behind this. He's going to poke a little bit. Once more controlling the map with the Overlords and spreading creep. I really love this, especially since it's a thing that we don't see a lot of Zerg players do like this consistently. Also, he does it without the speed upgrade for the Overlords. Hellions once again moving in, and it is the Hydra, and he gets it a lot later than I expected, but he gets it after all. We have now also the Roaches starting to push in, and suddenly we are talking about the Roach Hydra composition that is weak against drops. Bomber, a player who can really ruin your day with his drop play. Is he gonna pull it off? That's of course we're gonna find out there soon enough. He's gonna identify what's happening. He is going to identify that there is indeed this time a commitment to Hydralisk, and with that knowledge we should definitely see him utilizing drop play a lot more to spread his opponent's units out thin. JaeDong might counter that with a few additional spores and spines to buy himself the time to react. Also, creep spread is going to be important. Overlord spreading is going to be crucial. You need to know when those medivacs move in. Doesn't really have that yet. And Bomber has used a few Vikings in the last few games to make sure that he knows what's going on, that he can take down those Overlords and make sure that he limits the vision of his opponent. We could see that again. So that's going to be one of the main things that we're going to have to watch out for as the game progresses. For now, it's just JaeDong trying to hit that composition. Bomber does not have knowledge about what's happening. I don't think that he saw the Hydra then. Nope, he didn't see that. He has no knowledge about what exactly is going on here, but he has a pretty sizable force on the map regardless. Looking at 59 army supply against 65, double Banshee there still, and he's starting to take down a few of those creep tumors. Here comes the army though, and he sees that there are indeed already Hydralisks, and that of course has to change also his plan a bit more. We have 2-2 started. He's a bit ahead in that regard. Could even see him now with more Widow Mines. Another option is to have a few siege tanks with Bomber loves anyways. Speed upgrade for the Hydras has been started, but Bomber knows now what he's up against, and that is going to influence his decision making for later stages of the game. Medivacs once more. Is he going to go for that drop layer we've been talked about, or is he trying a different approach? We have now him just like macroing it up again, getting that base here established at the third. 3 base against 3 with the 4th being taken by JaeDong now. It's the game that matters, boys. All or nothing. This game, and that's the drop play. That's exactly what we mentioned earlier, but Hydralisk in position. Has a few Hydralisks just there at the base. It's something that a few players have been attempted in the past. Just keep a few Hydras back at home. 3, 4. Try to find out when those medivacs are moving in and snipe them early on. But again, no Overlord spread towards the sides. He has good Overlord spread with a few just blocking those spots or delaying them, but we don't really have him spreading out those Overlords to see those drops early on. We have one down here in the back where he's basically just trying to hide a couple of Overlords, but that's exactly the position that he needs to have them since the drop player has already been spotted. Is he going straight for the afterburn? Is he trying to move in? There are too many Hydras. He can't engage. Bomber can't engage, but he's looking for it. You can really see how he's trying to find out that position. Another thing that Bomber, by the way, doesn't have: siege tanks. Siege tanks are absolutely amazing if you want to stop a Roach and Hydra push. And it looks more and more like this might be exactly what JaeDong is going for. With the timing on the upgrades that he has, this could do all the damage that he needs to do. Can he take down Bomber here? It's 130 supply against only 100 army supply, and this is a massive army. There are no Widow Mines. He's going to stop the upgrades. He's going to get them. Easy peasy. There comes the flank from the left side. Another one down that ramp, and oh my god, Bomber is catching those units quite off guard, but does he have the numbers? This is a numbers game at this point, and JaeDong has so much here still. SCVs are moving in now too from every angle. Bomber is streaming down units, taking down Roaches and Hydras, pushing back his opponent, and he kills the entire force here. The army supply is still much better for JaeDong, but the army is just not together. He can't really fight with this. We have once more 6,600 resources lost against 5,000. The third base still alive. He moves in once more, and look at that DPS of Bomber. But the reinforcements for JaeDong finally arriving at the battle, and the Roach forces are pushing back the ships, loading it in, and oh my god, if he actually gets a drop off on the high ground, he could really become a massive nuisance for the Zerg player. If he gets in, kills a few Overlord, pushes the army back, makes sure that the Zerg player has to commit there. He could even try to snipe that lair if he wanted to. He's trying to control the choke point instead. He could always move back, and a counter aggression by JaeDong is already going strong, but the reinforcement of Bomber should be able to clear that up eventually. But the third base isn't mining as a result. Bomber still with a choke point. He has that one bottleneck position here that he's controlling with the Marauders and all of those medivacs on the high ground. But now the Hydras that are being built in the main base are trying to flank, trying to take down a few of the medivacs. It opens up the ramp for the rest of the army, going strong again. Bomber is down to 97 supply. He's dropping below 100. This is gonna be insane. Is JaeDong really doing it? Is JaeDong winning now the second match in a row after Bomber was once again ahead in the series? It certainly looks like he might be able to pull it off. He's taking down another medivac. Bomber not paying attention at this point. Resources lost 10,000 against 8,700. And Bomber is starting to really struggle. He doesn't have that 3-base economy. And JaeDong is, I mentioned it again, on 4 bases. Yes, no saturation down here at the 4th just yet. But he has it, and he can get those drones into the picture. Whereas Bomber is really trying to get the saturation going at his own 3rd. But he doesn't really get it. So he's on a 2-base mining. Where against JaeDong's 3, there comes the infestation pit. Bomber is going for the +3 attack upgrade. This army composition doesn't scale well into the late game without support. You need Vipers for that. You want to have a couple of infestors if you can, but Vipers are going to be the crucial point. The problem is that Bomber doesn't even get siege tanks, which is usually one of the units that you are getting with this. He's relying on the firepower of the bio forces, going in with the DPS and a lot of medivacs for the heals, but look at how the Zerg army is just wrecking the entire Bioforce, moving up that ramp again. Here come the SCVs. He's taking them down one after another. The rest of the army is moving in towards the natural, taking down even more SCVs. Harvesters killed 33, 34, 35. He's going for the command center. He's going to get the orbital. Oh, Bomber is 100 supply down against his opponent. And this looks like it's gonna be game. The Dong with the Roach Hydra composition. In the last game, he's mixing it up. He's going into Hive already, and he has done so much damage here now. 2 base against 4 bases. The saturation for a Bomber, it's just, he doesn't have the income. It's game, it's GG. GG called, and the best of 5 ends in favor of JaeDong, taking it with a 3-2 against his Terran opponent. Great play by both of these. Congratulations to JaeDong, qualifying for the WEC for the main tournament, the World Esports Championship. Whoa.